What's up, guys? Sporting Advantage here. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. Sorry about all the technical difficulties that we had. We're trying to link all this stuff together. That way, we give you guys the best content. Go ahead and let me know if any audio or anything like that is coming across bad. I don't know. Yeah, go ahead and go ahead and turn me up a little bit. All right, so today's topic is we are going to be breaking down Tyson Fury versus Wilder, the first fight and this second fight. What we'll get right into it. I was gonna do a lot more, but due to time restraints and the fact that I didn't have my stuff together, we'll just go ahead and get right into it. Let me go ahead and give some shout outs here. Shout out to the UGC. Thank you guys for sticking with us and helping us create content with you guys. Um, let's see here. We got Lisa Bells, Dr. Mario, Samuel Shaw. What's up, guys? Thanks for coming through. Add some moderators here. All right. So for the most part, everybody has, Tyson Fury a clear, favored going into the third fight. Fight one, a lot of you guys even, were talking about how Tyson Fury was robbed. He should have, won the fight. He didn't get the credit that he was due. And then in the second fight, he came through and pretty much did what everybody said he couldn't do, which was, knock Wilder out. Now it wasn't, a clean knockout. It was, the towel was thrown in, but at the same time, it's the same thing. It's comparable. I'm gonna go into if we can go ahead and pull up the stat sheet. We'll go ahead and see if that will slide onto the screen, and we'll get into the actual fight stats from the first fight. So let's see here. All right, so Wilder versus Fury, round one. Um, I went through and I looked at every single round. I watched the fight over multiple times, and I also looked at punches thrown, punches landed, and the accuracy. And I'm big on percentages and growth and decrease on it. So I went ahead and did some numbers on everything. But right now, in Tyson Fury Wilder first fight, in rounds 1 through 4, we have Deontay Wilder with 137 punches thrown, Tyson Fury with 110. Now, punches landed in rounds 1 through 4, we have Deontay Wilder with only 27 landing of 137 thrown, and then Tyson Fury landing 32 of 110. Wilder's percentage was about, or the percentage of the punches that he threw in the entire fight compared to rounds 1 through 4 is about 32%. Tyson Fury 28%. Now that statistic may be a little bit wild right now, but I'm going to come back to it and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so rounds 5 through 8, we have Tyson Fury with a total punches thrown of 118 and Deontay Wilder with 151. So right there, over the first 8 rounds, you can see Wilder is throwing a lot more punches than Tyson Fury is. Now, punches landed, Fury has the 5 after the first 4 rounds more landed, and in rounds 5 through 8, he has punches landed for Fury 42, Wilder 37. Now, this is when it starts to get interesting because of the total amount of punches thrown the entire fight, 37% of Fury's punches were thrown in rounds 5 through 8, and 44% was thrown by Deontay Wilder. Now, if you go back to the statistics from 1 and 4, Fury was at a 28 and Wilder was at a 32. So Wilder increased his productivity. Tyson Fury did as well. And of course, Fury landed a lot more shots than Wilder did versus what he was throwing. All right, let's go ahead and break it down into rounds 9 through 12. Now, 9 through 12, punches thrown for Tyson Fury, 104. For Wilder, 129. Still looking good for Wilder as far as punches thrown. He's keeping up with his productivity level. Now, punches landed is where it gets really, really, really bad for Wilder. Tyson Fury landed 41. Wilder only landed 21 in rounds 9 through 10. Now, that percentage breaks down to only about 25% of the entire punches he threw in the entire fight were in the final 4 rounds. Tyson Fury kept it in the 30s. And with this percentage breakdown, when you look at it, Tyson Fury goes from 28 to 37 to 31. He stays pretty even. Wilder goes from 32 to 44 and then shoots way down to 25. I guess you can say that's a lack of experience, not trained, whatever you want to say. However, when you look at the total punches that were actually thrown in the entire fight, you have Wilder has thrown 417 and Tyson Fury threw 332. Now that's 15 short of 100 more punches that Wilder threw. But when you look at landed, Wilder only landed 85 of those 417 punches. Tyson Fury landed 115. Now, we have to look at rounds 9 and 12 because 9 and 12 is where Wilder knocked down Fury. A lot of people, they don't, they may know about it, but they don't like to talk about it. But round 9, Wilder scored a knockdown. So you have a round 9 Wilder knockdown, and you have a round 12 Wilder knockdown, which everybody knows and everybody's seen the replay millions of times. So what you do here is you take the total number of punches or the punch gap here, which by my calculation is 30 total punches. Now you have Tyson Fury with 30 more landed shots in the entire fight compared to Deontay Wilder, but is that worth more than 2 knockdowns? Now, that's not the best way to, score a fight, and I know a lot of people, get angry over this, but that's a realistic way that you can look at it aside from, the intangible things that you can't do, only the ref can do, such as who was, more dominant in the fight, who had more control, things like that. But when you look at the statistics, is 2 knockdowns not worth as much as 30 landed blows. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to say that, Wilder clearly won, but I'm not going to sit here and say that he lost the first fight either. So, I'm just going to go ahead and give Deontay Wilder the first fight. Let's just give Deontay Wilder the first fight. Now, we get into fight 2, and this is where it gets really interesting after I broke it down and I looked at all the numbers and everything that went into it, and I put them side by side to the first fight. This is where it gets really, really crazy. So, Wilder versus Fury 2, rounds 1 through 4. You have punches thrown for Deontay Wilder, 130. Now, compared to the first fight, he threw 137. You're thinking, that's almost very, that's similar. This is the same fighter. Now you have Tyson Fury with 142 punches thrown. Now you look at Tyson Fury's first fight, and 1 through 4, he only threw 110 punches. So right there, you clearly see that Fury's already started to pick up his early work, early boxing, whatever you want to say. But earlier, he started to throw more. Now, when you look at the percentages of the entire fight, Deontay Wilder threw 70% of the shots that, of all the shots that he threw, 70% of them came in rounds 1 through 4. Tyson Fury, 52%. Now, when you look at rounds 5 through 8, and I know the fight, ends, in those rounds, but you have Deontay Wilder with only throwing 56 punches compared to Tyson's Fury 130. Now you look at the first fight and rounds 5 through 8, Wilder was at 151 thrown, Tyson Fury 118. So Tyson Fury clearly increased his, production in the earlier rounds and in the middle rounds. And when it comes to landed, this is where it gets really, really drastic. And rounds 1 through 4 on the second fight, Wilder landed 37. That's pretty good. And that's 69% of, the entire punches that he landed in the fight. But, 37 landed was really good compared to rounds 1 through 4 on the first one where he landed 27. Fury landed, however, 68. And his percentage of punches landed was exactly 50%. So he did 50% of his total production in the fight in the first 4 rounds. Now, on rounds 5 through 8, you have Deontay Wilder only landing 17 total punches with 31%. You can see that's damn near half, the production that he had in the first 4 rounds. Tyson Fury landing 67. That's only 1 punch short of what he did in the first 4 rounds. And, it's exactly 50%. So when you look at the average punches landed per round, and this is comparing to the first and second one. The first fight, average punches per round, Wilder landed 7.1 and Fury landed 9.6. That's pretty darn close. I mean, you're not going to get much closer than that when it comes to a fight. But in the second fight, look at this statistic. Wilder landed 7.7. Now that's 0.6 more than the first fight. He actually got ever so slightly better, but at the same time, he also, stayed very similar. You look at Tyson Fury and average punches landed per round, Fury had 9.6, but in the second fight, he had 19.3. Almost 20 more punches landed per round in the second fight. And when you look at, the difference in between what really happened in Deontay Wilder 1 and 2, it's that Wilder stayed the same. Wilder didn't change. Wilder when I put these statistics side by side, it's almost the exact same fight happened for Wilder. But when you put Fury's statistics side by side, it's a completely different fighter. He's throwing more, he's landing more, and the glove gate, all these excuses, that if you just look at the statistics itself, it'll tell you. Wilder came in the exact same person. Fury made crazy changes in his camp. A lot of people gave him shit about, going with Sugar Hill. But, when you look at these statistics, I mean, he's almost 2 Tyson Furies in the second fight when you look at punches thrown and punches landed. Just so you guys know, for the total punches landed in that fight, you have Wilder only landing 54 and Tyson Fury landing 135. That's an 81 punch gap. There was no debate really about who won the second fight, but when you look at the actual numbers behind it, I don't know that Tyson Fury did anything, Wilder did anything different. He's remained the exact same fighter, but Tyson Fury sat here, and while we all thought he was out, visiting with the WWE and having fun, bullshitting around, doing UFC stuff, and then he comes into the fight and he increases his production by almost double in less rounds. That was one of the main things that I needed to point out about everything that everyone was talking about. You got like I said, all the different stories about this glove gate and Tyson Fury taking steroids, which if you actually do follow boxing, that scandal is very, very old, but that's not the case at all. They're just not wanting to look at the actual statistics behind the fight and realize that Tyson Fury became a new fighter. And I'm probably going to do this with the AJ Ruiz fight too, because I guarantee you we're going to see a lot of different and drastic punches thrown and landed in that fight, or in the first fight, compared to the second fight. Um, I'm pretty sure we do have StreamYard hooked up, so if anybody wants to jump on and give me smoke, whatever it may be, come on in. Let's see here. We got in the chat Black and Brown Boxing. Thanks for coming by, man. Go ahead and mod you up. He's been here since the beginning. Of course, we got Lisa and Tim W, Samuel Shaw. Those are my people. Toby's in the chat. What up, Toby? Let's see here. Add moderator. But does anybody? What do you guys? How do you guys feel about the difference in the two fights? Do you believe that Wilder, should have won the first fight now after hearing that? Is a 30 punch difference worth two knockdowns, or would you say that no, Fury had more command of the fight and the 30 punches, were that much, more drastic and, changed the fight that much more? But let me know if you want to. Said Jordan wants all the smoke. No, I don't want all the smoke, but I am definitely prepared to take it. And whatever you guys want to do. Let's see here. Do we have a link ready to go? Let's see. Chin Smoke. Let's get him on the moderator tab. What are you guys doing on this lovely Tuesday afternoon / evening? I know some of you guys are from the UK. Yeah, definitely wash your hands, people. Coronavirus going around, COVID-19. I read earlier somewhere about where it was, one of the, or yesterday was one of the worst days, the entire, United States has had yet. So that's sad to see. We're trying to get the link available. Trying to link these two developer pages together has been the issue. That's why we weren't able to go live when we wanted to, and we had everything kind of set up. We had a whole bunch of little plugins as well for anybody that was gonna come on and try and talk shit or whatever. But 1-2 Kid, what's up, man? Thanks for coming by, bud. Let's get him modded up. All right, so we'll go ahead while we're waiting on this, figure out how to link the two streams together or whatnot. We'll go ahead and give the prediction for the third fight. Now, the third fight coming up, we have the location set. I'm not going to say a date just yet because I don't think anybody really knows with the epidemic going on right now. So we're going to go ahead and break down the actual fight. Now, in the third fight, I do believe that Wilder is not gonna, remain stagnant like he did in the first two that we just broke down, where he had, a difference of 0.6 punches landed, which is not even a full punch that, he landed more, while Fury doubled, more than doubled his amount of punches landed and thrown. So I think that right now, based on statistics, you have to give Fury the slight edge going in. Now, Wilder, I don't know if he's, changed any type of trainer. I haven't heard anything as far as him going to. I know that he's sticking with the same guys, but at some point, I believe that the amount of money that this fight has generated will produce somebody with a brain on their head that will be like, hey man, we've got to change some things. Like, this isn't rocket science, what I did with these statistics. You've got to change something, or you're going to remain the exact same fighter. I have Wilder with a third round knockout. I don't believe that he is able to make the amount of changes needed to win a long, drawn out fight. However, I do believe that this publicity that he's been getting, as far as, being a fraud, being, the worst boxer possibly of all time, whatever you want to say, is it's going to get to him. And he's not the most well spoken guy, but down south. We're not going to heavily judge that. The things that he says, I'm going to take it with a grain of salt, simply because he's under a lot of pressure, and he probably hasn't done much public speaking, if any, prior to, his boxing career. I believe that Wilder will come in there, and I think he's just going to unload for the first 4 rounds like he does in every other fight, except for he's going to catch this time. Now, that's a crazy assumption. I know a lot of people are like, that's just, casual, whatever. But there's something about Deontay Wilder coming into a fight that people have already said, like, oh, he's over, he's done. He ends up coming in, and he will he'll win in spectacular fashion. You look at Brazil, for instance. That fight was drawn out for a long time, based on outside events that we're not going to get into. But when he got actually into the ring with him, he'd been accused of child kidnapping his brother as well, or whatnot. I don't know if he himself did, but when you got into that fight, and after all the promo that went into it, you could clearly see there's a lot of hate built up in between that. When it comes to Tyson Fury, I don't think it's necessarily Fury that's doing the aggression, as far as telling him that you're not going to make it as a boxer, but a lot of the fan base is. And it's not just the fan base, excuse me. A lot of the media, a lot of the boxing media, like I've noticed that journalists and they're hitting hard on this, like it wasn't an issue before the Tyson Fury fight. I just think that now that Tyson Fury is the name on the card with him, that he gets a bigger spotlight in media attention. So. Like I said, Wilder round 3 knockout. I don't know what you guys pick. Actually, I'm pretty sure everybody in this chat has Tyson Fury winning by either stoppage or on points. But it was I don't know. It was real interesting actually. Looking through this, because when you look at the first fight, you'd have to say. Deontay Wilder was, more active, more productive, throwing 417 compared to 332. And then, you get into the second fight where Wilder almost kind of stayed, the same pace, but Fury was able to put on more weight and go further with his, arm, not only his punches landed, but his endurance. There wasn't a time that I ever questioned, like, oh, I don't know if Fury can keep up this production throughout the fight. It was gonna happen regardless. Had the towel been thrown in, Fury was just gonna outbox Deontay Wilder and possibly end his career that night. But I don't know, do you guys have any different opinion on? I'm missing a lot with the chat. I should probably read it. Thanks for the wrench. Take care, Lisa. Let's see here. Chin Smoke. Asking you, sent you a monster. Are you loyal fans? Sporting, did you just pick Pot Wilder in 3 in the trilogy? Yes, I did. Black and Brown, I know. It's probably not something you're going to hear very, very much on this trilogy, but I do have Wilder winning that in a third round knockout. Chin Smoke. The first the first live I've jumped on, I saw your name a few times at Samuel Shaw. Okay, it's not. Let's see here. I got to go with Fury. This is Tim W. I got to go with Fury. I think he's got Deontay's number, and he's clearly far better boxer. Wilder just cannot box for shit. Yeah. A lot of people will agree with that. Tim, and I don't disagree at all with what you said, and especially with what we just broke down. Let's go ahead and change the visual up there real quick. Get it back to the image. But yeah, I don't, I'm not gonna be upset if Fury wins. I'll tell you that much, Tim. Just because you know, especially with these breakdowns, we've given him every chance that we possibly could, as far as letting him know the difference. But if he doesn't come in with I'm going to knock him out within the first couple of rounds, I don't see him winning. And I don't see him making these drastic, improvements like, Fury was able to make, because not only is Fury continuing to make these same adjustments, he's been making them, since, before the second fight. So, it's not outlandish at all to think that. All right, let's see here. We got Samuel Shaw with Deontay. Knew he lost the first fight, came in scared in the second fight, and is probably hoping the coronavirus kills the third fight. That's that's I mean, I don't disagree at all, but I do think that Wilder won the first fight, and I know that's a lot of people can have their own opinion on it, but with what I just broke down, I just don't score 30 punches, better than 2 knockdowns. But to each their own. Let's see here. Toby Bartlett. I think Wilder's pride will make him sick. Will make him sick to his team. He made a big thing about Fury having to change his team. I just can't see him admitting he needs to change. Yeah, very true, Toby. Chin Smoke, Sam Wilder needs more than a virus to beat Fury. That's hilarious. Wilder can't box, not even the basic fundamentals. 10 or 20 years ago, he would have never even been noticed. Now, that's very true, Tim. 10 or 20 years ago, he wouldn't be allowed to step, into the actual boxing gym. They would have, sent him on his way packing, way before it got this far. Let's see here. Samuel Shaw, Chin Smoke. He hopes the third fight won't happen again. Yep. Hard to pick Wilder after the first 2 fights. I agree, Tim. Or Chin Smoke. Let's see here. Tim W. Jordan, your numbers don't lie. But just going by the eye in the first fight, Fury made him look like an amateur. Yeah. I don't know. When I did rewatch the first fight, and this was last week doing some prep for this. I know by this live stream you're probably like, what prep? But there's we did definitely put a lot into this that's not able to come through right now, but this will definitely be worked out, and we're gonna start doing this on a weekly basis. As far as boxing goes, as you guys know, I am not the most knowledgeable brain in the world about boxing. UGC, that whole clique, the boxing channel, if you go to their subscriptions, they've got a lot of quality content and a lot of people who put a lot of time into their videos, and they have they're up to date with what's going on. So that's a big reason that I have stuck or been with them this entire time, is because of that. These aren't just like guys bullshitting. This is real, accurate, and up-to-date boxing information. So yeah, if you are looking for channels on boxing, UGC click. You can probably, I think I put something on this live about the hashtag UGC. But if you don't know, UGC channel, boxing channel, go there, and all those guys, they will provide you with probably more information than you ever thought there was in boxing, but they're a great group. Let's see here. Jordan, I already read that. Looking like an amateur. All right, so that's gonna. Do we have a link ready to go yet? Let's see. Not just yet. I gotta figure out how to provide a link, because we got a lot of cool stuff that we can show off or whatnot. Also, anybody that is musically inclined, or you got some bars you want to spit, or you got something on your chest that you want to, just get off, you're always welcome to come on, spit your piece, whatnot, as long as it's, nothing crazy. But we've seen pretty crazy events happen. Third fight is bound to happen because who wouldn't get a beat down for $30 million plus? Yeah, that's very true. Now, one thing I do want to talk about is Jake. I haven't seen him recently, but you all guys, everybody knows Truth Bomb Jake. He mentioned that Fury versus AJ would do 500 mil in Saudi Arabia. I called him crazy, thought he was joking, being a little bit, exaggerated with those numbers. But then, and it was literally like 2 days later after he said that, Saudi came out with a 400 million figure that they proposed to be able to host the Tyson Fury versus AJ fight. Now, as we all know, that it didn't happen, at least right now, simply because the trilogy was actually mandated. But that number, especially with whatever happens in the third fight, could jump up to $500 million, and that type of money for a heavyweight fight, I think you would have to say that heavyweights are back. And a lot of people like to put it on like, America versus UK versus whoever, and that's not the case. Heavyweights have been in a bad place for a good bit of time now. So if any heavyweight, whether it be two UK heavyweights or 5 American heavyweights, it's kind of what you want. And when you got 2 guys in the UK that are generating that much viewership and that much attention for somebody to say or to put up the kind of money that Saudi's talking, that's real exciting as far as the future goes. So very excited for the future of the heavyweight division. The American heavyweight division, you might just have to wait a very very long time until I don't know, some of these Chat Warriors' sons grow up or something. Let's see here. Damn, 400 million. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I didn't. When Jake said that, I was like, man, I actually bet him $100 on it, and I said, man, if it does 500, if it does 500 mil, or if they even do a 500 mil offer, I'll give you $100, Jake. But that's crazy. And then lo and behold, 2 days later, they come out with a $400 figure, which makes me believe that within the next coming, months or so, we could see a 500 million, dollar offer out there, and I might be $100 short, but who cares? Let's see. Just messed that up. We don't have any. Yeah, I don't know why, but we're trying to get the StreamYard set up to where it'll link in with OBS, and it's not wanting to link properly. And that way we can control all the audio or whatnot that goes in, but it's not wanting to work out for us. And we can always, like I said, we can do this over maybe even later tonight with I want to. That's one thing I do want to get into is I want to respect other channels that are doing content on boxing and really putting an effort into it. If they're live or they got something going on and I don't know about it, I want I would like for the chat to let me know, because I do want to be very respectful when it comes to that, because a lot of these guys put a lot of work into it with limited resources and limited, just limited equipment in general. A lot of these guys are doing this, from their phone or whatever it may be, and those are the real warriors out there, and we want to make sure those guys get heard. And also that like I said earlier, the UGC Click, they've got a very big brain when it comes to boxing. And this will be like a weekly just a weekly live that will kind of break down different fights. Like I said, I think next week we're going to do AJ Ruiz, the difference in the two fights, and break it down for you guys. It's going to be a lot better because we're going to have all these kinks worked out. I'm actually going to have graphs that, will be showing and playing as I'm describing things. And it's going to be it's just going to be a lot better for you guys to view instead of just like looking at some screen with some numbers on it or whatnot. But yeah, we'll definitely do that. And then of course when college football season comes around, I will go real heavy and real big into that. That's going to be the focus of this channel, college football and NFL. So if you have any teams that you root for or whatnot, say it in the chat, whatever you want. And, you might get a video made on them, or you might get something done that's pretty cool. We can do a lot of different things with the equipment and the setup. So, yeah, let me know if you guys want anything cool like that done. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and throw on some music, and we'll kind of vibe out and ride out to that. This is the first stream for Sporting Advantage and the boxing lives. But like I said, this is going to be something we're going to do weekly, and we're going to constantly get better. We're going to grow, and anybody that ever comes at the UGC or anything like that, it's going to be bad news from now on. Like, it's not going to be something you want to do. We're going to be able to do so many different things that are going to blow people's mind. Like, the amount of stuff that we had ready to go for this live is kind of crazy, and I'm not going to play it just simply because I don't want to get people butthurt. But if you do approach things wrong, it's not going to be taken lightly. But we'll play a little bit of music as we ride out. I appreciate all of you guys coming through for the first ever Sporting Advantage Boxing Live. We just broke down Tyson Fury versus Wilder 1 and 2. Gave you guys a little bit of statistics on what exactly happened. If you're interested, check it out. Replay it, whatever you want to do. And yeah, like I said, I appreciate everybody coming on and supporting me through this journey. Appreciate y'all. Samuel Shaw, Jordan, would you shut down your live for a gold digger prank? I'm not too sure about that. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see here. Tim W. I pay my hospital bills and I limp off into the fucking sunset. Everybody knows why you're limping. But let's see here. Black and Brown, Atlanta Falcons. Okay. Atlanta Falcons. Let's see here. Didn't they just give up? Who did they just? No, excuse me. I'm thinking of the Houston Texans, but Atlanta Falcons, they're always going to be a middle of the tier team until they make some drastic moves in the draft, whatever. But yeah, they're going to be fighting for a wild card spot. But yeah, I do follow the Falcons pretty closely, so come closer to football season, we will do a lot of videos. Julio Jones, he's actually from Foley, which is not very far from where we are located. So we've watched him for a long time, and he's balled on a lot of our high school teams for a long time as well. Let's see here. Cowboys and Spurs basketball. Yeah, the Cowboys suck. I know a lot about their team simply through college football. Dak Prescott, he's probably the best. I don't know. You could say Dak Prescott or what's the guy's name? Their running back that's from Ohio State. What's his name? I forget his name off the top of my head. But those two guys, they're gonna do well with the Cowboys. Dak Prescott, he's an offensive minded genius. Like, he's had to he's gone from pro to spread, and I think what he needs instead of like running a coach's offense is, maybe the coach needs to take a Dan Mullen approach that he had at Mississippi State, which was his old college coach, and they could maybe mold an offense around his abilities, because when he's loose and he's letting the cannon rip, man, that guy is dangerous. And he's a bigger guy, but when he starts to get momentum going, he's a load to bring down. But yeah, Dallas still sucks. Let's see here. Good stuff. Stay safe. Gotta run. Gotta call my doctor. All right, Tim. Definitely. Always keep us posted. The Bears. Yeah, the Bears. They made a lot of noise with the. Oh gosh, Corona's got us to where we're not really. Did the Falcons just land Gurley? I'll have to look that up, Samuel Shaw. But the Bears were about to get somebody, and then it didn't end up going through. But I'm trying to think who they were. Not Jameis. Cam Newton. Cam Newton was about to go there, like a week and a half ago. But I don't think that ever did go through. But the Bears, classic historic defense. They're slowly inching back into where they need to be. The Bears are a historic program with the NFL. So if the Bears are on top, which I would like for them to be, I think football will be better, because you have a lot of diehard fans in Chicago, and everybody knows the story of Chicago. That's just a rough city, and when those guys are on top, it's just, I don't know, it just makes better football, and you can just feel it more. Let's see here. Peace, Tim. Bless you, brother. Peace, Chen. Yes, they did. Samuel. The Bears, yeah. If you guys don't know, Florida Gators are going to win it all this next year. I know a lot of people are probably like shaking their head to that announcement, but I promise you, Kadarius Toney is more than likely going to win the Heisman Trophy. You've got Jacob Copeland from Pensacola, Florida, probably the most underrated wide receiver / running back / anywhere you want to put him in open space, he's gonna make plays. He's gonna be there with them. You got freaking Kyle Trask coming back at QB. There's a lot of weapons on Florida that everybody's going to be looking at. Georgia, they're going to be looking at Alabama, LSU. I know I've got a hype video on them. They're not my team, but I am going to do videos on different things, and I know a lot about college football. So that video that I did to anybody that is an LSU fan, it almost told a story to them, and I know a lot of people just through like what they've sent me and things like that, they appreciated it. But LSU is going to be hot garbage, and they're going to stay hot garbage. Ed Ogeron. He's a strength and endurance coach. He's the type of guy that's going to go into the middle of the room and get everybody jumping up and down and crazy, ready to go run and bang their heads against a wall. But when it comes to actually making a game plan, he's not the brightest guy in the world, and he just lost his ace and pretty much all of his offensive weapons. Now he still does have his offensive coordinator that I can't think of his first name, but his last name's Brady, and he is the offensive genius, and he's what's made that pro style at LSU work so well. But it's going to be an uphill battle for at least the next 2 years for LSU. I don't see them. They'll probably finish in the top 25, but I don't see them finishing in the top 10. Let's see here. What are some other? Ohio State's going to stay exactly where they are. I believe that they're just the best team in the Big Ten, and Michigan has not produced like everybody said Jim Harbaugh would do. Jim Harbaugh has proven to be a coach that is, full of shit. Just a hype job, whatever you want to say. But, the guy constantly comes down to Florida and he sets up these recruiting camps and, tries to steal players, and he tries to, make big attention about, oh, he's doing this and he's taking them back to Michigan. But when you finish a year, like I don't know what their record was, but when you're not able to win the Big Ten conference, or even get close to it, and you might be the third or fourth best team, not even the second best team in your conference. Like no matter how well you did in the NFL, if that doesn't translate, I would be looking to replace him very soon at Michigan. Michigan is another historic program, and they don't deserve that, no matter if they are loyal to their coach or not. And that's just like in boxing and football, you got these guys that will become so loyal to a coach or somebody that is not the entire program, or the entire they don't embody football itself. So they'll be loyal to them, and they will constantly say things that they don't honestly feel, but because they're emotional, they'll say it, and they'll ride on board with that until that coach eventually dies or whatnot. But hopefully Michigan doesn't do that. But either way, they're not going to be passing Ohio State. So I have Ohio State winning the Big Ten, and probably Wisconsin and Nebraska even finishing ahead of Michigan. Nebraska, that's one you're going to have to look out for. Scott Frost, he's a great coach. I know they did terrible this year, but Scott Frost is changing that program around. Actually, Black was talking about it earlier, about Omaha, Nebraska or whatnot in his live, but that kind of made me think about Nebraska is going to be one of those teams that I'd put them as a dark horse. We'll see what happens. He's a quarterback's coach, so he's definitely been developing a guy out there, and hopefully they get better. ACC, you have a lot of turmoil. I think everybody knows Clemson's going to be number one. Now, number two, flip a coin. You've got FSU rebuilding. You got Miami rebuilding. You got Virginia. That's there. I don't know if you can put too much faith in Virginia, but yeah, I just don't see anybody getting anywhere close to Clemson. So we're just gonna hand the ACC to Clemson already. Let's see here. Pac-12. I'd like to see USC win the Pac-12 and finish the year with maybe one loss, possibly no losses. I know that's kind of far-fetched, but USC is one of those programs that when they are on top, college football is better. You think back to Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush, what they were doing. Like USC was a dynasty, but I know I'm rattling off about college right now, but we'll save that actually for another time or whatnot. You want to drop the... All right, so yeah, we're gonna finish this out with some Cam Sweezy, and hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, I appreciate you guys coming through. It's gonna be boxing every single week, and we do it all here. Appreciate y'all coming through. Gonna let this ride out. All right, guys, y'all getting something a little special. We're going to actually debut receipts. You've heard a little bit of it on my Deontay Wilder hype video. That's another thing. We will be doing a Fury hype video, so don't think that we're just extremely biased towards Deontay Wilder. Although that is, our guy from the South. We will do a Fury 1 that will be, it's going to be very, very fire. But we're going to go ahead and debut Receipts right here for you guys. Definitely not something you want kids in the room for, but you guys will like it. It's very, very lyrical, so. Enjoy.
They steady creeping on me, trying to peep the technique. I'm cold-blooded, that's the word on the street. Count my wins and losses at the end of the week. Then charge it to the game, keep the receipt. You know I'm always grinding, gotta beat the physique. No sleep until the mission complete. I play to win, but if I suffer defeat, I'm charging to the game, keep the receipt. What does it take? Great performances at the highest level. You'll go to places fallen soldiers aren't awarded medals. Are you better or just bitter cause you never settle? See the beauty, breathe the poison in the flower petal. I hit my stride and best believe the growth is exponential. Within my mind is a gold mine of pure untapped potential. And they out here saying wisdom is blissful. I'm on my targets like a heat-seeking missile coming to get you. And they steady creeping on me trying to peep the technique. I'm cold-blooded, that's the word on the street. Count my wins and losses at the end of the week. Then charge it to the game, keep the receipt. I'm always grinding, gotta beat the physique. No sleep till the mission complete. I play to win, but if I suffer defeat, I charge it to the game, keep the receipt.
I'm addicted to drinking paint.
I'm addicted to drinking air freshener. And I'm addicted to smelling ice. And
Your bullshit bitchin' ain't saving the planet. I might say fuck it, go and sail the Atlantic. There's balance, but this life don't favor the fairest. If I ain't raising a bar, well then bitch, I'm raising awareness. God damn it, man, my heart turned to granite. That's what you get when you're a hopeless romantic. Beg for it just to take it for granted. If I ain't raising a bar, well then bitch, I'm raising awareness. Now, who is better than me? My words open doors like a skeleton key. Then the fly starts to build in your veins and your arteries, clogging your heart with a venomous sting. What do you see? All of the things you're not ready to be. I'll go get on my knees for a kiss on the cheek. If you missing a piece, take a little of me. What I've learned from the sheep is the fact that Mother Nature does not have a nurture to weep. I see all the holes in the words that you speak, and then I'm out like the birds and the bees. Everyone dies, learn to not take it so personally. We are more than we're forced to believe. We are imperfect, but we are important, and we can survive in this earth full of thieves. Once we can't comprehend that our worth is achieved. I know the burden of being a person, not certain of earning a version of perfect. A purposeless service that holds you and eats you and beats you and keeps you from reaching the surface. Will take heavy tolls on your deepest emotion, making your mind become obsessive compulsive. Everyone's shown this, their head has exploded, except for the ones who are ready to know it. So what do you see? Follow the dream without falling asleep. They all try to stop me till God intervenes, watching me bleed through the heart on my sleeve. And I still prove them wrong when they all disagree. So I'm thinking the ultimate consciousness, infinite knowledge is brought up on all of us. Do the dirt and I plant the American seed, destroying the communist occupants. Your bullshit bitchin' ain't saving the planet. I might say fuck it, go and sail the Atlantic. There's balance, but this life don't favor the fairest. If I ain't raising the bar, well then bitch, I'm raising awareness. God damn it, man, my heart turned to granite. That's what you get when you're a hopeless romantic. Beg for it just to take it for granted. If I ain't raising a bar, well then bitch, I'm raising awareness. This is impossible awesomeness. Optimus Prime versus mechanical octopus. Fluid and knowledge of Solomon, sleeping inside Tutankhamun sarcophagus, hiding a dope, my narcotics anonymous, busting your head like a zombie apocalypse. I will be fucking irrelevant until the aliens study my skeleton. Put on a show for the ladies and gentlemen, turning our brains into jiggly gelatin. Keep it offensively ignorant, misunderstood by these typical citizens. Thoughts with a vision cross limitless distances. Gon' send it back like an illegal immigrant. It's like fighting a militant syndicate, freeing myself from this mental imprisonment. Swelling my head like a temporal hemorrhage, spread from an illness as filthy as syphilis. Do it to cleanse out the wickedness, pissing off even the friendliest feminists. Still contemplating my life's insignificance after I prove my existence is infinite. Ground her receive plentiful benefits. Success is sweeter than sugary cinnamon. Gotta be wise to have wisdom to implement. Going all in like the ending is imminent. It can get pretty ridiculous. Dreams manifesting as visible images. Swimming through oceans of menace and grimaces. No more sunshine without written permission slips. And nothing gets left to coincidence. Choices get made with a simple or intricate. Playing a game, being sneaky and mischievous. Escaping quick cause I'm real and conspicuous. My flow so vicious and vigorous. Speaking like I think my species depends on it. Even though I know that everyone's different. History's given a similar interest. Eating our hearts out of penniless idiots. Innocence turns into envy and bitterness. Sorry, I've been inconsiderate. I am a psychic that finishes sentences. Selfishness puts us in sketchy predicaments. Prevail through those critical instances. Pray for the pitiful liberal denizens. Stuck with the cynical, freaky Floridians. You won't get an official certificate taking advice from this pencil dick hypocrite. Inside I'm disfigured and hideous. Everyone thinks I'm a friggin' degenerate. Right up until I get frisky and intimate. Might just say fuck it, I'm feeling promiscuous. Show 'em my special magnificence, feel the euphoria, inhale carcinogens, rapping to give you a godly omnipotence with ideas older than Australopithecus. Dying, I'll live through the internet, running a course like I read you the syllabus, breaking seconds into millions of increments, keeping it up with persistence and diligence. And you should start quitting your insolence. Power is shown to instruct like Leviticus, choking you like smoking 6 packs of cigarettes, meth, crap, PCB, and 10 pounds of Snickle Fritz. I flow with an infinite energy that could potentially end all life instantly. I speak about history's mysteries, only remember that's hidden for centuries. All of my enemies come to eventually wish they were friends with me. This is efficiency, skillfully crafted, delivered consistently. The flow is the coldest, that boy is a poet, you already know it. I'm rolling up potent and smoking and choking and busting it open till foe and no moaning. No pace can maintain me, no chain can restrain me. There is not a chance that you make it to safety. Now watch me go ghost on the day that you pay me. Like Clan Foundation fundraisers in Haiti.
Turn the frogs gay. Friggin' frogs gay. Sexual relations for that. Friggin' frogs. Turn the frogs gay. Friggin' frogs gay. What? Raising awareness. Frogs gay. God damn it, man, my heart turned to granite. Friggin' frogs.
That's what you get when you're a hopeless romantic.
Sexual relations.
Beg for it just to take it for granted. If I ain't raising a bar, well then bitch, I'm raising awareness.